What up, YouTube? This is Daniel Rucker with True Table. Welcome to the table. Today, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. You guys seen the thumbnail, so you already know. But we're gonna unpack it. We're gonna get started. You know, there's a lot that's been said, and the reason why I took about a week to let everything kind of come to, you know, the forefront was I didn't want to be one of those people who heard one thing and then jumped on it and then just assumed that it was valid, assumed that there was complete and utter truth to what was being said, because they were, you know, accusations. And this is a group of men who are amongst the manosphere, amongst the group of us who are discussing these issues, men issues, women issues, relationship issues, and so on and so forth. But before I get started, before I get in this kitchen and start cooking, because you know that's what I do on this channel, go ahead and hit the like button. If you feel the need to do so, go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate it. But without further ado, there was a debacle. There was a clash. There was I guess you could say some discourse amongst some content creators in the space. Prominent content creators. Abba and Preach, which are people I follow and, you know, I respect and I listen to and have been listening to for a while. Shout out to you, brothers. And Fresh and Fit. Now, there was a lot to be said amongst what occurred with them. I do remember reviewing the broadcast where Abba and Preach was on Fresh and Fit some months ago, and it seemed to be a fairly decent exchange. You know, there was a lot of things that came together as far as how they gelled, and Abba and Preach being on Fresh and Fit's particular podcast, you know, they adhere to what goes down on Fresh and Fit, as you should. You're a guest, that's what it is. But anyway, moving down the road, I guess there was some confusion on this whole paying for the box thing. And that's what started the whole situation, was that the manosphere has been discussing, do you pay for box? Do you not pay for box? Is it okay? Would you say that is a practice of an alpha male? Would you say that that's some goober simp behavior? So on and so forth. And Fresh and Fit went on to say that they don't pay for box. They went on to say that, hey, this is something that we tell our subscribers, that our men that follow us, not to do. That it's a practice that, quite honestly, we as men don't respect. Abba and Preach went ahead and replied and said otherwise, and that's where the whole situation happened. Now, my particular stance on the whole paying for box situation is, how would I want to put this? I personally don't feel it necessary to pay for box. And when I say feel, I'm being very precise with using that word, because the feeling behind it, for me personally, is something that I believe you as a man should avoid doing, unless you live a certain lifestyle, unless the lifestyle you live requires you to participate in certain types of practices. Now, what do I mean? What I mean is that the men who pay for box, in a sense, on that level, they're usually people who have a lot to lose. They're usually men who are so busy that trying to vet women, trying to spend time getting to know a woman on a one-to-one basis, date after date, text after text, conversation after conversation, they're not privy to that. So sex for them at that level becomes more of a transactional kind of ordeal. If you're hungry, you order a pizza. If you want a car, you go to a dealership. If you want sex, you order it. You pay for it at that level. So I get it. I do understand, as well as protecting your image, as well as making sure that the people that you're dealing with, something as simple and organic as sex, should be able to be treated with the same mutual exchange. But the difference is that when you reach a level like this, gentlemen, your whole world changes. The casual party you used to throw at your house, no longer a casual. You may have to have people sign an NDA. You may only be able to have a certain group of people that you can allow to participate in doing something simple, spending time with you. Why? Because now you are potentially liable for their safety and so on and so forth. And that's really what is occurring with this situation is that you got two opposing views. You got Aber and Preach on one side saying, you know, they understand, they support it to a degree based on the things I'm listing now. Depends on your lifestyle, so on and so forth. And that there's men that are of greater stature and greater position in life, greater popularity, who this is a common practice. And then you guys as Fresh and Fit are trying to make this new stance like you're special or unique based on what Aber and Preach was saying. And how can you follow and support men who support the practice of paying for box, but then you are the individual that say, no, we don't do that. We don't pay for box. And I get both points. Now, why I'm disappointed? I'm disappointed because, a little warm in here. Sorry. Why I'm disappointed is because, see, anytime men have a disagreement, have a discourse, I believe there should be a way that you handle it. And that's what more my reaction to this whole situation is, gentlemen, is that it's not so much about the paying for box topic. It's not so much about the drama that's going on between Aber and Preach, but it more so is about how I've even gone into my channel and I've spoken to you guys to say, hey, a man exemplifies these characteristics. A man exemplifies this kind of status, this kind of, you know, standard of living, this type of mindset. And I still stand on that. I believe men should, you know, even in discourse, have a certain way that they decide to come to the table and speak on it. But to go and take your private platforms, your particular audience, and now speak ill will towards another man is a very weak position. It's weak from the standpoint that you got to be careful what you exemplify. You know, if you have something that needs to be discussed and needs to be handled, I think that airing it out to the public can be detrimental for two reasons. One, it makes you look bad. Two, it can create a non-trust from the things that you're spewing, the things that you're trying to teach and showcase as people to follow you and essentially be a model citizen or be someone that they look up to, they admire. Well, people are going to hold you accountable. And I think that's what's going on right now, is that there's so much coming out about Fresh and Fit and the illegitimacy of what they've been teaching, the illegitimacy of what they've been sharing and telling, you know, their audience to, in a sense, abide by. That, gentlemen, you should do this. Gentlemen, you should do this. And what I want is really for people collectively, men as well as women, to take a real good look at this situation and learn from it. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that it is great to be able to have people who give you information, you know, myself included, those other people in the respective space that is YouTube. However, information and characteristic, personalities and information, they're separate things. A lot of times what happens is that people get tied up and they make people godlike figures in their mind, their perception. It's very easy to take someone who's successful and assume that they're a good person. It's very easy to take someone who is on TV or doing great things in life and is a public figure, and then people usually attach this, oh, they're awesome, or oh, they're considered, or oh, they're nice, where, you know, people like myself who live in Los Angeles, who interacted with celebrities, who, you know, spent a lot of time around A-listers, B-listers, even C-listers, and had the privilege of being in these rooms, you start to learn real quick that guess what? They're just people. They are not any different than you. They don't walk on water. They don't necessarily have any superpowers or anything like that. What they have done is they have done some kind of work to be able to arrive in the place in life that they're at. But that's just it. And I believe people need to be able to distinguish and separate one thing from the next. That in this particular situation with Myron and Fresh and all the things that are occurring, and with all the things occurring, it's a bad look. And it is a bad look. A lot of things are being exposed, particularly more so about Myron than Fresh, in regards to their practices, in regards to what they've done in secret, you know, low-level harassment when it comes to some of the young ladies and the guests that have been on their show. And it is very disappointing because a lot of men unfortunately, male figures, they don't always handle their self with the utmost level of integrity and the utmost level of respect. That the graduation from being a normal person to being a celebrity, there is a scale to it. There is a growth level to it. And that's the part that they don't teach you. That's the part they don't necessarily tell you about. But it is a real life thing that, you gotta reassess everything differently once you start becoming a public figure. And what I want the audience to take from this is not just to assume that these practices should be on the integral side if you're famous. I believe that as a man, period, you should do your absolute best to always operate from a place of respect, integrity, not put so much filth and dirt out in the streets and have two personas. One persona that exemplifies what you want people to see, the good part of you, and then on the back end, you got a whole bunch of things in the background pending that you're really you're trash. And that was Abba and Preach's whole, I guess resistance to it was the fact that they hold it, Fresh and Fit accountable for the fact that they have a platform talking to people, talking to men, talking to women, and talking to people in general about excellence, about being your best, about being aware, about standing for something different. Yo, if you're not gonna be that person to hold the flame, hold the standard, then don't speak on it. Give information, but don't operate from a place of like, oh, well, we don't do this and this is what we teach because this is what we stand for. No. You have to, first of all, be the example. You have to be what you're trying to teach. Now, in most cases, that's easy to do. If you're a fitness person, I would believe that you should be fit. If you're a finance person, you may not be filthy rich, but you should have a general understanding on money, FICO, credit, credit utilization, leverage, so on and so forth, things of that nature, right? And it's no different in this space. If you're going to jump in front of a camera and now put yourself in a position, put yourself at the mercy of people trying to share information that is going to be best beneficial for their growth in their life, well then, gentlemen, it is imperative that you are beyond careful on what you decide to share with the world and also how you show up in the world. I want to see growth from everybody, but I want to also have people in the world like Abba and Preach who, without question, are always going to stand on the side of integrity and good nature, good moral fiber. I respect that. And I'm very disappointed with Fresh and Fit, especially if the allegations that are ahead of them or currently attached to them are 100% true. I'm not going to be a person to say that I wholeheartedly believe that. I do believe that there's a lot of validity to what, these young ladies have been saying and some of the people that they've been in business practices and interacting with. So it does raise some eyebrows. But yeah, men, gentlemen, your image, your word, your persona, who you are as a person is important. So make sure it's authentic and make sure that you always follow from a place of humility, care, love, excellence. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for hanging out with me. It is a hot summer day, but I'm doing it for y'all. So anyway, go ahead, if you have not already done so, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate it. And this is Daniel Rucker with Truth Table signing out. Till next time. Thank you.